The courtroom was silent. Bright blue lights shone from the walls, making the silver floor glow. At the center stood Commander Jiroa, tall alien warrior with silver skin, sharp black eyes, and long braided hair. She wore the armor of the Zalon Empire, but today she wasn't a hero. She was a prisoner. 3 high elders floated above in their hover seats. Their faces were hidden behind glowing masks. Their voices echoed across the room. Commander Jira, you disobeyed direct orders. You destroyed the Zarn base without permission. Why Jira didn't flinch? Her voice was calm, cold. 'Cause the Zarn were planning to attack us. I saved lives. That was not your decision to make, the elder replied. You think you are above the law? Jira stayed quiet. The room was filled with soldiers, guards, and civilians. Some looked at her with respect. Others looked afraid. The council whispered to each other, their voices low and secret. Finally, the center elder spoke. We cannot allow a soldier to act without control. You are brave, Jira, but dangerous. Then sentence me, she said. We have. You are hereby punished by bonding with a male of the primitive species, ... human. The room gasped. Jira's eyes widened. She had faced death before, fought monsters in space. But this was humiliation. No, she said quietly. You want me to mate with a human? Yes, the elder said. You will be sent to Earth. You will live with the human. You will follow their ways until we decide. You are ready to return. This is not a punishment. This is a joke. You have 1 hour. A glowing collar appeared around her neck. It locked into place with a quiet hum. She could feel it burning slightly. It was a tracker and a control device. She didn't argue. She didn't scream. She only said one word: cowards. Then everything went dark. Earth, one day. Latarzayera woke up in a field. The sky was gray. Trees swayed in the wind. She was wearing simple clothes, now nothing like her armor. In front of her was a small wooden cabin. Smoke rose from the chimney. She looked around. No guards, no ships. No weapons, only nature. A door creaked open. A man stepped out. He was tall for a human. Light brown skin, short hair, quiet eyes. He wore a sweater and held a mug of something hot. He looked at her. Jira narrowed her eyes. She waited for him to bow, or tremble, or run. He didn't. He simply said, You're here. Jira stepped forward. You are the one they chose. I'm Liam, he said. You can come inside. It's cold. She didn't move. I don't follow orders from humans. He didn't argue. He simply walked back inside, leaving the door open. Jira stood there for a long time. Then she followed. Inside, the cabin was warm. The smell of food drifted through the air. There were books, lights, plant things she didn't understand. Things that made her feel ... small. Liam placed a cup on the table. Tea, you don't have to drink it. Yara sat down. Let's be clear, she said. This is not real. This is a sentence. I don't want to know you. I don't care about Earth. I just need to survive this. Liam nodded. Understood. He didn't look afraid or angry. That made her more annoyed. You're not afraid of me? No? Why? He paused. Because I've seen your eyes before. In dreams. Jira froze. Something about his voice felt strange, like he wasn't lying. She looked away. Do not touch me, she warned. Everzellan's skin reacts to human touch. Liam raised his hands. Noted? Silence filled the room. Outside, wind howled. The sky darkened. Jira stood and walked to the window. She hated this planet already. Weak sun, no power, No warriors. Just ... quiet. And Liam so calm, so patient. Why did you agree to this? She asked suddenly. Liam didn't look at her. Because I didn't have a choice either. That night, Jira sat awake. Liam slept in the other room. She touched the collar on her neck. It hummed lightly, reminding her of her punishment. But inside her, something else hummed too. Something warm. Something old, and it had awakened the moment she looked into his eyes. Jira dreamed of fire. Not burning, fire-blue fire. Silent, floating, alive. It danced in the dark, whispering strange words in a voice that sounded like her own, ... but older. The bond has begun. She woke up, heart racing, ... silence. The cabin was quiet. Wind pushed softly against the wooden walls. Somewhere outside, a bird called Jira sat up on the couch where she had slept. Her skin tingled. Her wrist still felt warm, like someone had touched it but no one had. She looked at the door to the other room. Liam was still asleep. Or was he? She didn't trust this man. And yet, she didn't fear him either. Jira stood and walked around the cabin. It was small, but full of strange things, books about space, drawings of stars, old maps. The fireplace crackled gently. She noticed something new today. A framed photo. It showed Liam with another person. A woman, not Zaylin, human. She looked ... kind. Jira stared at it. Why was it hidden under a book yesterday? She heard footsteps behind her. That was my sister, Liam said softly. She died 3 years ago. Jira turned. Sorry, she said, though she wasn't sure why. Liam gave a small smile. She used to talk about aliens, said one day they'd send someone here. Someone meant to change everything. Jira narrowed her eyes. And now, I'm here. How convenient. Liam shrugged. Fate has a strange sense of humor. They sat at the table again, like yesterday. He poured her tea. This time, she drank. It docked. The warmth surprised her. I studied your people, Liam said. Zaylin's strong, proud, dangerous. Jira nodded. And you, weak, soft, emotional. Liam chuckled. You forgot charming. She gave him a cold look, but her lips almost curved at the corner. Almost later that day, she walked outside. The air was fresh. Too fresh. It made her uncomfortable. She noticed something odd behind the cabinet door in the ground nettle. With alien S symbols, she reached for it. Don't touch that. Liam was behind her. Jira turned sharply. What is it? It's locked for. Now? Why does it have my people's language on it? Liam didn't answer. You said you didn't choose this, but you knew I'd come. I knew someone would come. I didn't know it'd be you. Jira stepped closer. Who are you really? He looked into her eyes. For the first time, she saw something in him, sadness mixed with fear. But not of her, of what she might become. I'm just a man who lost everything, he said quietly. And maybe, waiting for something I don't understand. Jira backed away. Her thoughts were racing. Why had her people chosen him? Why the secret door? Why did her skin still feel warm where he touched her yesterday? That night, Jira stood outside, watching the stars. One of them blinked. No dash, moved, a small flash. A ship. They were watching her. The Zaylin Council wasn't done. They were testing her, and maybe testing him too. She returned inside. Liam had left. A blanket for her. A small thing, but it felt like a message. I know you're not ready, but I'm not your enemy. She lay down but didn't sleep. She couldn't. Not when her body felt different. Faster heartbeat. Strange dreams. And every time she closed her eyes, she saw his hand on her skin, and the energy that passed between them. Her people had warned her, do not let a human touch you. Some awaken the ancient code. The bond is rare, ... But if it forms, it cannot be broken. She had laughed at that once. Now, she wasn't laughing. Next morning, she woke up gasping. Another dream. But this time, not a fire of battle. She saw herself standing beside Liam, wearing ancient armor she had never seen before. And behind them, Hodge, machine, glowing with power. It looked like a weapon, and it had her face carved into it. She rushed to the mirror. Her eyes were still black, but for 1 second, she thought she saw a faint ring of blue fire in them. She splashed water on her face. "Get it together," she whispered. But deep down, she knew something was happening, and it started when he touched her. The first time Jera bled, the blood was not red. It was silver, like liquid metal. She touched her nose, confused. The sharp pain had come suddenly right after her second dream, the one where she was fighting beside Liam in armor that glowed. With fire, the silver blood glowed faintly in the moonlight before fading away. "What is happening to me?" she whispered. Her reflection in the mirror didn't answer, but something inside her had changed. Jera walked outside, barefoot, on cold grass. The sky was clear, stars like tiny needles above her. She felt like one of them was calling her name. Behind her, the door creaked. Liam stepped out, wrapping a blanket around his shoulders. "You okay?" he asked softly. Jera didn't turn. "I saw something again. You were in it." "Another dream." She nodded, but it didn't feel like a dream. It felt like a memory, ... of something that hasn't happened yet. Liam stood beside her. "Can I ask something?" "Your planet. What did they say about us, about humans?" She thought for a second. "They said your kind was too emotional, too soft, unfit for war. But dangerous in other ways." "What ways?" She looked at him now. "Your touch, your connection. Some say it can awaken ancient codes and our DNA, lost abilities, forgotten history." Liam raised an eyebrow. "So I'm a walking switch." She almost smiled. "Don't flatter yourself." Back inside, Jera explored the cabin again. She touched the books, the shelves, the walls, searching for anything new. Anything strange in one corner, hidden behind an old coat. She found a metal box, heavy, locked. She placed her hand on top, and it lit up her mark. The Cylon Sigel appeared briefly on the surface. "Liam," she called. He came quickly. When he saw the box, his face tensed. "Where did you find that? You tell me?" Liam sighed. "That was here when I arrived. I've never been able to open it." Jera stared at him. "But it reacts to me." She placed both hands on the box. The lights grew brighter. Then click it opened. Inside was something wrapped in dark cloth. She unwrapped it slowly. A blade, curved black, engraved with Xalon. Runes, but it wasn't just a weapon. It hummed with a soft, deep sound that moved through her bones. "That's mine," she said in a whisper. "Are you sure? It has my family symbol. This blade was lost in battle years ago." She looked up at Liam. "How did it end up here? On Earth?" He didn't answer, because he didn't know. Later that night, as Liam made dinner, Jera sat silently with the blade on her lap. She wasn't thinking of war. She was thinking of Liam's hands. Not in a romantic way, but in a powerful, terrifying way. Because that one brief moment when he had touched her wrist, it had started something. Her body had reacted. Her cells had changed. Her dreams had started. "Liam," she said slowly, "I need to test something." He looked over. "Okay. Touch my hand," he hesitated. "Are you sure? Just do it." He reached forward, slowly. Carefully their fingers touched. At first nothing. Then, Flash, the room disappeared. ZHRA stood in a black void. Stars swirled around her. In the distance, a voice-old, layered, male and female at once spoke words in Zalon. The bond has chosen. She turned. Liam stood there too, glowing faintly. His eyes were bright silver. "What is this place?" I asked. Siak Yera shook her head. "I don't know." The voice returned. "One warrior, one human. The code sleeps in your bones. Waken it, ... and become more." Then everything shattered. ZHRA gasped, pulling her hand away. She was back in the cabin. On the floor, her nose bled again. Silver Liam looked shaken. "Okay." Touched his chest. I felt like something unlocked inside me. He whispered. CHRA stood up. "That wasn't a dream. That was a message." "From who?" "Not who," she said. "What?" Outside, high above Earth, a small alien drone sent a signal back to the Zalan Council. "Subject Jira has made contact. Energy readings confirmed. Phase 1 complete." Far away, in a cold space station, the High Elder leaned forward. "Then it begins." Asterisk, the blade began to sing at sunrise. ZHRA had placed it on the table, covered in cloth. But as the first light touched its surface, it began to hum softly like a living thing. Breathing through metal, the sound wasn't loud, but it went straight into her bones. She opened her eyes at once. Liam was already awake, sitting across the room, staring at the blade like it might grow legs and walk. "It's calling to you again," he said, quietly. Jira stood, walked over, and pulled the cloth off. The curved Silan blade shimmered under the golden light. Far, the runes along its side were glowing, now and slowly shifting into new shapes. "That's not possible," Jira muttered. "Runes don't move. They're carved." "Then maybe this one's alive." Jira looked at him sharply, but deep inside. She was wondering the same thing. They sat in silence for a while. Then Liam broke it. "You asked me once who I really was. I think it's time I told you the truth." Jira didn't move. "Go on." Liam looked at the blade. "I didn't grow up normal. My parents worked for something called the Astra Group. It was a secret science division that found alien objects, artifacts, wreckage. They said most came from space battles Earth was never supposed to know about. And your family kept this quiet? We had to. One day, my father brought something home, a small cube, no bigger than a stone. He said it had ancient code inside language they couldn't translate." Jira leaned forward. "What did the cube do?" Liam's voice lowered. "It glowed when I touched it." "What color?" "Blue fire." Jira's heart skipped. That wasn't just a coincidence. That was heritage. A few weeks after that, Liam continued. "My father vanished. Then my sister died in a fire. My mother was never the same. Before she passed, she told me, 'One day, someone will come from the stars, someone meant to find you.'" Shira sat very still. "I thought I was being punished," she said softly. "But now I think I was being delivered." Liam looked at her. "Delivered to you, or maybe to this weapon. Whatever it is we're supposed to become, it started long before we met." That afternoon, Jira walked deep into the woods behind the cabin. She needed space to think. Trees surrounded her, tall and silent like guards. She stopped near a small stream, bent down, washed her face. When she looked into the water, she didn't see her reflection. She saw a warrior queen standing in silver armor, flames rising behind her and beside her, a human man glowing like a star. She blinked and the vision was gone. "What am I becoming?" she whispered. Behind her, Liam's voice came. "Someone who scares your own people." She turned quickly. "How do you know that?" "Because they're watching us." He pointed to the sky. A small silver drone hovered quietly above the trees, blinking. Red, almost invisible. Jira raised her hand, a pulse of blue. Energy shot out. The drone exploded without a sound. Liam stared. You didn't even touch it. Jira's hand shook slightly. I've never done that before. Then, it's happening. Faster. That night, they returned to the locked underground door behind the cabin. Jira placed her hand on it again. This time, it opened. A slow hiss escaped as the metal slid back, revealing stairs into darkness. They descended carefully, step by step. As lights blinked on along the walls, faint blue and ancient dot. At the bottom was a room, dusty, cold, and massive dot in the center. A chair, but not just a chair. A throne made from crystal and metal, shaped with Xalan patterns. And above it, floated a hologram, a map, stars, planets, and in the center, Earth, pulsing like a heartbeat. Jira reached for it. The map reacted to her touch, zooming in, glowing brighter dot. Words appeared in her native tongue. Bond confirmed. Final phase, awaiting unity. Liam stepped beside her. What does that mean? Shara's voice shook slightly. It means, we're not finished. We've only just begun. Far away, on the edge of the galaxy. A warship entered cloak mode inside. Her former squad leader, Commander Virik, looked at Earth through the screen. She's activated the throne, he said. Should we attack? Not yet, Virik said. Let her believe she's in control. And the human, Virik smirked. He's more dangerous than she knows. And when she finds out the truth, she'll have no one left to trust. The forest didn't breathe that morning. No birds, no wind, just stillness. Like nature was holding its breath. Jira opened her eyes and sat up. Her instincts screamed, they've come. She grabbed the blade from beside her bed and moved to the window. Outside, the trees were but to calm. No shadows, no movement. No sound. Liam entered the room behind her. You feel it too. She nodded once. My people are near. 10 minutes later, they were outside, standing back to back in the open field. The silence was deep and natural, and then a ripple in the air, a shimmer. Suddenly, 3 Xalan warriors stepped out of thin air. Cloaking tech. High-level .zh era recognized the man in front instantly. Commander Virik. Her former squad leader, same cold eyes. Same twisted smile. Jira, he said, like an old friend. I see exile hasn't changed your taste in company. Jira didn't blink. What do you want? To take you home. This joke has gone on long enough. This isn't a joke. No? Then what is it? A love story. He looked at Liam and smirked. You think you're special? Human. You're a tool. Nothing more. Liam didn't respond. He only stepped closer to Jira. You're not taking her anywhere, he said calmly. Virik laughed softly. You really don't know what you've bonded with, do you? Ask her how many humans her hands have crushed. How many she's killed. She is not what you think she is. Jira stepped forward. And neither are you. Without warning, she moved, a blur of silver and flame. Her blade clashed with Virik's in a storm of sparks. The other soldiers moved in. But Liam was faster than they expected. He activated the pulse weapon hidden under his coat, one he built months ago, just in case. Jira ducked, spun, and struck. One soldier down. Liam hit another with a blast of energy, non-lethal, but enough to knock him out cold. Virik growled. You're fighting your own people for him. No, Jira shouted. I'm fighting for the truth, for the choice you took from me. They retreated into the woods, running fast. The forest now alive with danger drones in the air, tracking. Heat, tracking breath. They won't stop, Jera said as they ducked behind a fallen tree. Then we run smarter, Liam replied, already rerouting the signal of one of the drones through his device. Give them a false trail. He pressed a button, a flash in the distance. The drones turned away. Jera looked at him with something new in her eyes. You're more than just a human. I could say the same about you. Later, back at the cabin, Jera patched her arm where Virek's blade had grazed her. Silver blood again. It shimmered like stars under her skin. He said things, Liam began carefully. About your past, were they true? She didn't look. At him, yes. I've killed. I've destroyed. I followed orders blindly. She looked up now, fierce but vulnerable. But I've never lied to you. Liam nodded slowly. And I haven't told you everything either. He opened a small box under his bed. Inside the cube, the one that had glowed years ago. Now, it pulsed steadily. Same blue fire as her dreams. Jera stared at it. That's not a human device. I know, Liam said. It reacted to my DNA, I think. My blood isn't 100% human. Jera stepped back. Then this bond isn't random. It was designed. Are destined. In orbit above Earth, the Zaylan Council watched the scene play out in real time. Through a drone feed, Virek had transmitted before his defeat. The High Elder turned to the others. They are evolving faster than expected. Shall we erase them? The Elder waited, then spoke. No. Let the bond finish forming. Then we'll take what we need and destroy what's left. Deep in the cabin, under the floor, the throne began to glow, again uncommanded. A symbol appeared on its side. It's a circle with two halves, one silver. One blue dot, the bond dot awakened, and something ancient stirred beneath the earth, where even Jera and Liam could not see. Asterisk, it started with a whisper. Jera couldn't trace. At first, it came only in dreams. A soft voice. Not human. Not Zaylan. It spoke in a lost tongue, words that wrapped around her bones like vines. He is hiding something, just like we told you. She tried to ignore it, but it returned every time she closed her eyes. Louder, closer, until one night the whisper turned into a question. What if he was sent here, for you? Jera stood at the edge of the forest, alone. Trees swayed above her. But her thoughts were louder than the wind. Liam had gone into town for supplies, first time in weeks. He had promised to be back before dark, but the sun was setting, and he wasn't back. She clenched her fists, not from fear, from doubt. Back at the cabin, she searched out every drawer, every file, every corner of his room. Not because she wanted to, because she had to. And then beneath the floorboards under his bed, she found it. A small black communicator. Military grade. Not Earth tech. Zaylan tech. Her hands shook. She pressed the screen. It opened to a message history. Most were locked, but one was still open. Encrypted message: 37 days ago, subject Jera has arrived. Bonding phase initiated. Monitoring in progress. Jera couldn't breathe. He knew. All along, Liam returned just as the stars appeared. He carried bags of food and tools. But the moment he stepped through the door, he stopped. Jera stood in the middle of the room, blade in hand, eyes glowing faintly. Where did you get the communicator? She asked. Liam's face changed, but only slightly. Me explain. Start talking, or I'll end this now. Liam put the bags down slowly. Yes, I knew you were coming. I was told. Someone like you would arrive. And I was told to monitor. That's it. Told by who? The Astra Group? It's the same ones who found the cube. They have contacts. Maybe even inside your empire. Jera took a step forward. So I was never a punishment. I was a project. No. Liam said quickly. That's not how it is now. Then how is it? Silence. Liam looked at her not with guilt, but with sorrow. I didn't choose how it began, but I chose you. Every day after that, Jira lowered the blade. Just a little. Her voice cracked. You should have told me. Would you have? Stayed if I had. She didn't answer, because she didn't know. That night, she sat alone outside while Liam stayed in the cabin. A storm was coming. She could feel it, not in the sky, in herself. The whispers returned, this time louder. He is part of it. The humans, the council, they all want what's inside you. She pressed her hands to her ears. Stop, but the voice pushed harder. Your blood is old. You are the key. And keys are only useful to those who lock and unlock, not love. A single tear rolled down her cheek, silver and hot dot inside. Liam opened the cube again. This time, it didn't glow. It opened, not like before. A small projection hovered above it, Jera's DNA signature, and next to it, his own. Perfect match. But there was a third mark now, a countdown, 8 days, in orbit. Virik watched through the last hidden drone. She found the message, he said with a grin. Now, let's see what betrayal does to a bond. His second-in-command raised an eyebrow. What if the bond still holds? Then we cut it ourselves. He pointed to the ship's controls. Prepare the disruption wave. We end this, before they find out what the throne truly is. Back on Earth, thunder cracked. Jira entered the cabin again. Liam stood. I'm not leaving, he said. She looked at him. You don't have to. I am. Where will you go? To the source, the throne. Whatever it is, it was made for me. I need to know why. I'm going. With you. She hesitated. No more lies. Only truth. As they left the cabin, hand in hand, but hearts unsure. Something shifted under the ground far below. The throne awoke completely. Its core glowed bright blue, and deep inside its energy circuits, two shapes formed: Zhra and Liam, bound but cracking. It was not the throne that awakened first. It was her memory. Not one memory, 1,000. Not visions from her own life, but from lives before hers. Jira stood at the edge of the ancient chamber, frozen. Her hand hovered above the glowing throne. The air buzzed with energy, and then she heard it. You are not the first, Jira. Her knees weakened. She saw flashes other women with her face. In other times, each one paired with a human, each one bound by the same mark, each one called the key. They had all stood here, all touched the throne, all died, except her. Behind her, Liam watched the holograms spinning above the throne. He couldn't understand the symbols, but he understood one thing clearly. The countdown had reached 0. Jira, he called out, you need to see this. She turned slowly. They never wanted a bond. They wanted a weapon. Liam showed her the thrones. Core, now fully active, pulsing fast like a heartbeat running out of time. The throne wasn't just a seat of power, it was a trigger. Suddenly, the room shook. A beam of light shot into the sky from the throne, piercing clouds above. Seconds later, Virik's warship, decloaked in orbit. He had been waiting for this moment, waiting for Jira to complete what others could not. It is ready, Virik said, standing in his command deck. Send the signal. Absorb the code. His scientists began transmitting, trying to steal the throne's energy before it could link fully to Jira and Liam. Jira fell to her knees. The voices in her head screamed now. Break the bond. Save yourself. He lied. He betrayed. He used you. But another voice, softer, fought back. He stayed. When he could have run, she looked up at Liam. His eyes weren't glowing. His hands weren't raised in defense. They were reaching for her. No weapon, no shield, just open hands. If you need to walk through that throne alone, he said, I won't stop you. But I never came to use you. I came because I felt like I'd spent my whole life waiting for you to arrive. Her chest ached, not from pain, from choice. Then she placed her hand over his. The glow returned. Not violent, not cold. Alive, the throne pulsed once. Then again, then opened, not like a door but like a mind. Light burst through the walls. Symbols floated between them. A golden sphere rose from the floor. It spoke in her native tongue and Liam's language, this same time. Bond complete. Balance achieved. Awakened protocol initiated. Virik's ship powered its weapons. If we can't take it, he growled, we destroy it. The ship aimed directly at Earth. Jera stood inside the throne's light with Liam. No fear now, no. Whispers, only clarity. She saw through Virik's ship. Saw through the lies, through time, through herself. This throne was never a weapon, she said aloud. It's a test. Of what? Liam asked. Of trust, of unity. Of what two enemies can become when they choose peace. She raised. Her hand. Liam did the same. The energy from their bond shot skyward, meeting the ship's blast halfway. It shattered the beam. Then reached the ship. In orbit. Virik's screen cracked. His ship powered down. Systems failed. And the last image he saw before blackout was Jera standing in light. No longer a soldier, but something more. Later, the warship drifted. Powerless. Back on Earth, the throne slowly powered down. Its duty complete. Jera and Liam stepped out of the chamber, hand in hand. No more whispers, no more countdowns. Just breath. And choice. They stood on the edge of a new world, not ruled by force or fear, but by something older than war. Bond, balance, and beginnings. Epilogue. Weeks later, Jera sent a message to the Zalan Council. The bond cannot be broken. You tried to control it. You tried to erase it. But it was never yours to command. You said I was sentenced to a life with a human. But you were wrong. It was never a sentence. It was a start. She turned off the transmitter. Liam handed her a cup of tea. So, what now? She looked at the stars. We live.